welcome back, and we're at home now because I wanted to do some detailing and so on and so forth. And so we'll get the Ranger done and working on the Ranger with more details. One of the things I want to do, I was going to get, of course, with everything else, but I want to get to, I want to start first with the binoculars, and the binoculars are starting to scare me a little bit. Let me put my better glasses on. I think looks like he's holding like a big box of cereal or something, and so I want to get going on that, get this going. And so I realized that since it's so huge, that let me bring the light up. Pardon me, I almost forgot to get you some light. And if his eyeballs are going to be kind of like about here-ish, then therefore there's where the eyes piece will be. So first we start with the center. Now I'm really glad that I made this binoculars much larger than it should be, I mean thicker, because now we'll have more room to bring out some more fingers here. Okay, like I said, it's going to be like right about there-ish, give or take-ish. We could probably still make it a little larger. A little larger caricature. Now, using my binoculars is that I've kind of discovered that about, and I don't have my ruler, there's always one thing that I forget when I sit down and get going here. But the distance between these two spots, like these two spots, seems to be about half. So in other words, whatever I have here is twice, the binoculars is longer. So I'm going to kind of start with the center. You pick, no, you don't, yeah. Because there's more on the hand and there's more coming out this way. So therefore, this way and this way. So we're probably just about okay, and I'm all right with it being a little bigger. This much will come off. And again, you got the better pattern. You're watching me struggle through screwing it up and fixing it and this and that. And so again, you've got the better pattern. That's why I like doing this, is to show you how I can recover. Now the eyepiece is going to come down like this, like this, like this. There's a separation. Probably make the eyepiece a little longer, just a little bit. And for the, again, as I've said, I've always wanted to teach. I like teaching development. And, you know, all the screw ups and whatever that you come across. Now, I think the binoculars will be fine. I mean, the hands will be fine. There's the chassis. Oh, I see where I'm screwing up. No, I'm okay. Oh, excuse me. And I want to get... Now, it doesn't have to be, because I don't think... I've got some old Civil War binoculars, and they're like all the way through. But all the old binoculars I've seen has a prism inside, so it goes in, zing, zing. So you don't have to have such a long pair of binoculars. And so it's going to zing, zing, and then here's where it's going to come out. Or rather in the other way, or here's where it's going to come in. And so there's the body. There's the lens. Yeah, I think we'll be okay. It's still going to be quite a bit bigger. We can probably shrink it as we go. But the thing that's very interesting is that since he is a little longer here, Forest Ranger, and his binoculars is his primary tool. And so there's that. The next thing I want to get into, since being at home and looking deeper. Now the thing is I was doing some more research, and I was thinking, is that boots or shoes with leggings, or is this boots that just happen to hug the calf? And I am going to elect that. I mean, I cannot find anything that looks like that they were leggings. And so obviously when we come down here, this is all going to be, and the leggings are just below the knee. And so where is the knee? Where are you? I think I may have discussed that before. Okay, I'm back. I got my figure here. I also got a ruler just in case. Now these little figures here, I got this at like Dick Blicker, your standard hobby place, Hobby Lobby. May have them. I'm not sure if they have any more. But there is some, if you go on YouTube, there's a lot of advertisement on male, female. It's much better than this. And they're like, those are like $35 and worth it. And they even got hands. You just pull this hand off and has a different grip. The other thing that I've done, especially with the females, is I've got, believe it or not, I got the latest, if you look in the toy section, the latest Barbies, and how realistic that they are. And the two that I got are very bendable. And the reason why I went with that instead of more of a realistic is I like to see somebody else's artistic, the way, another artist sees things, and it's kind of interesting. I mean, there's the realism, measurements and all that, and then there's just see what other people come up with. And then it also came with also got the Ken doll. What's really funny is that you go there, you ought to go there, and there's just thousands of, well, okay, not too much, almost 100 different styles of Barbie dolls, and there's only one Ken. And the Barbie dolls are very, like I said, they're about $15-ish, and the Ken is only $5, and rightfully so. But anyways, now the sun is starting to come in again. It's like we want sun, but Mr. Golden Sun, but not when it comes to videoing. Sorry. And let's see if I can hold that up there. There. Nope. Which means I have to, let's see if this isn't going to be a catastrophe here. Well, we'll try to get by here. But ain't one thing, 'tis another. So I hate wasting your time, adjusting and futzing around, and I almost elbowed my water bottle there. Another disaster. Well, anyways. All right. Okay, I wonder what bird o'clock that is. All right. The knee, that's what I was talking about. Now, the knee, according to this, is everything realistic. Everything should be about 8 heads. Let's see if that's true with this character. So here to here, here to the nipple, here to the belly button, and it doesn't look like it unless I didn't squeeze it enough. And I think it could be a little smaller. It's not guaranteed. And then here, from here to the groin, and that's half. And then there's 2 more to the knee and 2 more to the feet. But this one, it's not guaranteed. It's just close to proximity. So we need to determine, now the head, I'm not going to measure the head. The head is always, the caricature of the head is always bigger than it should be. So it almost gets to a point, well, let's just shove the knee right here. And I don't want to do that. So it is between halfway between the groin. Now where's the groin is going to be kind of more, I want it more up because he's got his jacket on. And so halfway between here and here. So yeah, what I got here is the knee in the caricature. So I want the boot just below the knee. Right? And the reason why I kept this large like this is still pretty large, the leg. And the boot's going to really come in quite a bit. Maybe not as much as this. But then this will give this flap here, all this extra flap and all this trouser flap I want to get in there. So that's 2 things. Okay, there's the knee. Now the other thing that I discovered that is realistic, not only this character is wrong compared to what I've seen with others, is that it seems that the arm starts, I think it's by the ear. So in other words, it goes back. So it's more back than front. And I've noticed a lot of other character carvers like to have really thin really thin figures in which the arm is almost as thick as the whole body, and I don't want to do that here. So there's less back and more front. Or if your character, it really doesn't matter. You want it, if it's more realistic, you want it back. And I do remember, I think something like that, except I can't do that here, is that I remember something about the ear. Is it the front of the ear or the back of the ear is where you start? Sorry, I don't want to give you misinformation, but I do know for sure that the arm is back farther than it is front. And it kind of tapers, it's kind of round-ish, and tapers into something. We are going to cut. There's going to be a lot of cutting going on here. Again, this is probably unfair to you because, like I said, you will have the finished. And it's probably a good time for you to maybe take a nap and while I catch up to you, that since you'll have the finished product picture. But you're just seeing how I am trying to figure things out. Now, again, I still want his head turned, and I might be losing it. I don't think I still got the head turned a little bit. I want a little bit more, but I think we're going to be stuck with that. And the shoulder, right here's the shoulder, right here's the shoulder, and you come across just a little bit. Just a little bit. And technically right here is the deepest part. You're gonna go straight down, straight back, but we want to be careful because we want to leave some collar material. And we'll work at that. The hat I may have goofed up a bit. But like I said, I'm going to work with it. See, we're good this way, but I think we may not. I think we'll still be relatively okay. I hope it's not so much of a disaster that I'll have to Photoshop. I don't want to do that. All right, let's get back. Now that we got a plan, let's take a slug. And I assure you it's water. It's nothing that I shouldn't have. All right, here we get. I want to get to that binocular because I think that's the most, start with that. That is probably the most I have to really anchor down on, really hit the wood on. So it was nice being up there. It's fun being up in the woods. We've been practically raised up there every year. I mean, I've been there. This year would be the 59th year of being up there. 1963 is when I was up there. Okay, I want to start with my chisel here. Like I said, you could use the flat end. You could. And like I said, we may need to, I want to go straight down with this because we still may need to shrink them. I'm pretty sure shrink the binoculars this way. But I want to at least get the figure of the binocular in. Oops. Careful. Kind of went in a little bit. Might be okay. And that's okay. We're gonna. Okay, but I want to be careful here. What kind of a tool what do we got here? Well, this has worked. This is my number 11 again. 5 mil. And it's mostly to take the wood off. And of course, there's another fiber that's in the way there. You know, I have just got to go get another pair of gloves. These are, I mean, these are like dollar store gloves. These are cheap weights. Let's see if we can, no, I want to use the bigger. I want to use the bigger, oh, where are you? Oh, I can take you out. No, where are you? The number 11, 25 mil. Let's get it getting. And this is like mostly just to get wood off. Right. I get those calipers out of the way. If I start sweeping, I certainly don't want to drop those on the floor. Well, I'm having trouble with that. I think with the regular knife start to do. Where is my, again, where is my, there he is. Again, my number 11. I'll be careful to get to the end. Now we're starting, now we're cooking with gas. Here we go. Take my knife and start shaping a little bit here. We still in? We're still in. That's another thing that I like being home again, is getting back to my, I mean, I could still sharpen pretty decent with my block and all, but I do like getting the machine on. Being careful not to pry it because I don't want to break that tip. Down in there. Careful, I don't want a free hand there, otherwise I'll slip and hit something I don't want to hit. But it is this way, I hate to say it, but it is this way that smaller to my little number 9 here, just to take that out of there. There we go. And then I want to come back and I want to even that to the coat a little bit. And we'll have to come back with the knife again. And I think I'll just clean this and I'll leave it for now. I'll adjust later. Yeah, it was fun being on top of that Ranger tower for the first time in you know, I want to keep that wide for now. And the ranger from his office, he says, "Oh, you want to climb up there?" Well, yeah. And Lynn says, "No, you're gonna like have a heart attack going up there." Oh, come on, we used to do that when we were kids. You're not a kid anymore. It was really funny coming down, and she kept looking up and hardly see me in motion. Well, the reason why is I was in the last step because the box is closed, whatever you call it, box or cupboard or whatever you call that. And as you get to the top, there's just barely, you know, about 8 by 3 feet. And so when I had to turn, and I had to be careful to watch. Okay, continuing on. He said, "Oh yeah, I see you were all right when I saw you tapping on the bottom." Yeah, saying, "Well, you can't go up any higher." I was even looking for one of my brother's graffiti up there. We claimed, I think I remember seeing it when I was a kid. It was like on the second to the last step, but unfortunately, it was on the step, and then of course it's been trotted. So I mean, he wrote that. Oh goodness, the late 60s. Okay, I'm still working on this. So yeah, another itch. Okay, I can probably work with that later. I just want to get moving here. Like I said, I'm going to be careful because there's, well, I can dig here when I'm talking. Because when I get to the arm, I wonder where Ethel is. My cat that's always bothering me. Except we did have a death in the family just before we did leave. Our white cat Lucy had to be put down. Very sad. She was a good cat. But what does that got to do with Ranger here? See, he's starting to take shape, at least that. And I just want to get started on the arms a little bit. Just shrink it a little bit in the back. Again, you would have a better pattern, as the folks in Boston would say, pattern. Just getting one step towards. One step closer. Here's my big chisel. So kind of like my rough out chisel. All right. Ooh, careful. Take too much on the forearm. I think I still got enough forearm left. And it's still kind of, because we're in, I want to say semi-rough out stage, so it's kind of hacky a little bit. And I'm thinking it would probably be best if I start presenting more, let's say, thought out carving, so I won't waste your time. But I just wanted to demonstrate, demonstrate how I just start. Now, in this viewing, and I don't know if it would be, if this is like much later than when I'm just doing this, on the Facebook, on Dave Stetson, for example, just put out his process of claying up an idea as a big Santa, and I remember him as Klaus from a show, Christmas show on Netflix. Anyways, I've always wanted to carve that. And he has a class, and it'll be in this November 2021. If you're there, go look on his Facebook, take a look, let him know you're interested. But that's a good example of using clay. That's the reason why I'm pointing to that. Very good example of using clay. Now I've used clay. Well, actually, I used to use terracotta clay, and excuse me. And what happened would be, it would dry and of course crack and all that kind of stuff. I'm not very good at that. But the main purpose was that if it would harden enough that I can put it on my duplicator and duplicate the first pattern. First pattern. And I did pretty successful. And what I like to do back then, I didn't want to waste any of my wood, is I would take some ends and glue them together. And then I would do that, and then I'd make another pattern, and then I would start making a couple more. If it turns out to be good, I will make a couple more of those. And then, of course, each one would be different. Doing something different for each. That's what I used to do quite a while ago. As a matter of fact, as we're sitting, my duplicator is not in good shape, but geez, I have not used that. Excuse me. In such a long time. We buried the tip. I hate burying the tip. Like I said, you're gonna. There, we're just getting started on that. Getting that. Well, not started. Getting there. As a matter of fact, I mean, now it's getting close to readjusting that because I want his hand to go around the binocular. That's what we're aiming for. So for sure, all you're going to see, well, you're going to see is the 4 fingers. And I think what I've done before is, especially if this comes close to the body, is just did this little divot here. And then just kind of a little bit and a little divot here. And then it would disappear to give the impression that it's a thumb. But I want to kind of start leaving things alone. Like I mentioned before, if you can make longer cuts. Longer, cleaner cuts. And like I said, I do want him to arch his back. I don't know if I took that away. I guess I did when I did that. But I think there was still too much coat there. But we'll do that in the detailing. I think I need to twist this just a piece there. Now I want to get started on the boots. I wanted to do this first because it was bothering me. Because this is bothering me when we get up there. Usually when I do the final, one of the final process, I suppose, is that I like to start with the feet up. So here we get, now this is going to be a big cut. Right here, this is where the boot's going to be. Like I said, I just wanted to show you my struggling process. I mean, anybody can, well, I don't want to diminish anybody else's video for crying out loud, pardon me, but I just wanted to, this is just not a matter of let's make a little figure and isn't that nice? And a lot of the others, I mean, I hope they do. I've seen some, and not all of them, of course, is that they show you a good knife chisel handling. That's the other key thing. And if you're very good at carving, then I think it's also good to, it's almost like a semi-socializing through the internet. I don't know if that's the best way to put it. Okay, here we go. Here comes the fun. Because this is going to, the feet are going to be shrunk, but not too much. I still want to keep the caricatureness of it. Now the Daz character here, like I said, that's the best I could find. I mean, he's got like trousers on, or jeans on, and then he's got swashbuckling boots. That's the best I could find. But I still want to see the principle of that. And so it's still bigger. I don't want to be too much of a clodhopper for crying out loud, but let's take a pencil and well, I'm going to smooth out a bit first so I get a better. And again, you can just take a break, and because I'm sure you're caught up with me. I'm not caught up with you because you would have this done already because you have the better pattern. You know, I want to be careful with cutting too much off because I don't want that foot to break off. I don't think it will, but still. many squeaky noises. Table squeaky noises. Let's get on the other side. Oops. Still got some saw marks in here. Well, that's right. I didn't want to waste your time with me kind of trying to putz with this here. I'll just do a little bit here just to keep up. Oh, I missed this side. Just to get it started here. Yeah, I'm glad we're just going to do boots. When in doubt, do boots. Okay, now that I got, what do I want to do with those feet? Those feet are still, not only they're too big, I mean they're too long. I want to take one swipe off, and the other thing is, I want to get down to the toes here. And just a little bit, one strike here. Same with the back. Okay, here's what I want to do. That's one thing that I've noticed on both of these pictures, and even on the feet too. You notice that, see there, you got the toe, and you got this little arch here, and then up. Toe, a little bit of an arch, and then up. Kind of a little bit here, there's the feet. Toe, not the arch, I'm talking with the opposite of arch. Convex, not concave. And so I want to make sure, let's start with the toes. I think still got to take a little more arch off. The convex arch, the opposite arch. Well, it is still an arch. It's the top part of the arch. I think if I round this a little bit, maybe another strike. I think that's not so bad, but it's not so good either. I might leave it, or here. I think the reason is the toes. There we go. And look at that. After I sharpen my knife already, it's still beginning to show signs. Signs that it needs another swipe. Okay, this is the more difficult end here. I was going to say, I wonder if I should do it with the, would it be better with the chisel? all right, this, just a little, I think it just needs to be a little bit, take a little bit more of this off. Okay, now I think, all right, I'll be kind of semi-comfortable with that. Here's what we're going to do at the bottom. Okay, we're going to make a big circle. That is, it comes down about maybe about 2/3. Past half, about 40 to 60%. And then here's a smaller circle here. Bigger circle. Come down about 60%. And I think if it's, I want it to be the same size as this one. So let's see, make sure that the boot, all right, I think this boot is a little thinner. There we go. And it might be a little longer too. Oops, let's go this way. Yeah, it's about the same. Well, I think probably because of this there. There we go. Now I want to take and put this dent in right here, the arch dent, and just a little off, just a little, but I want the arch dent. Now the cowboy, if you've done some cowboy caricature, you come way up on this, but I just want to kind of round it a little bit. Again, he is semi-caricature yet semi-realistic. I don't know if that's the best way to put it. Oops. I think I hope I didn't take too much off. And it does kind of come in a little bit here with the boot heel. Now that can go almost straight. A little bit of rounding. Same here. A little bit of rounding. Just a little bit here, just to give some indication that there's an arch going on, in which a lot of my old videos, you'll see I neglected that. I give you just practically a regular boot. So okay. I still got to work on the arch a little bit. I guess I can probably do that either now or maybe just a little swipe or two. And if it's not right, I'll do that later. I think it's this one here, it's a little too sharp. There. Okay, so for the boots, I think we might thin this a little more. I'm not sure. Again, when it comes to detail, again, he's caricature, so yeah, depends on what you want to do. All right, moving along here. Come on. Come on, don't hurt yourself now. There we go. Do a little bit of zoom in, and let's see, hopefully we'll be able to set that in, keep that in there about. Let's see if I can carve here. Okay, so, okay, I was back with the feet. Rounding this a little bit. Actually, more like shaping. All right, now I want to move along by putting these little extras in. Now, according to him, this picture is more like, oops. Let's do this upside down. Yeah. It's way puffing out. Oops. I think buried the knife there. Buried the tip. Do something like this. Now it seems to come down like this. Kind of curl down just a little bit. Now this goes like this. A little bit of this here. And same in the back. Ooh, ouch. Some scraped against the bottom there, the edge. Like that. And then therefore, while we're doing this, we'll kind of start putting in the butoctal area there. There's a lot of this extra I'll come back to. Probably come back with a chisel or something. Let's do the same thing here, relatively. Let's get some of that rounded out of there. And again, I don't want to waste too much time picking on video. You can always pick later. I want to get the bulk of what's going on here. Oops. there is some horizontalness. I see some, verticalness to it, like. Again, we're back to some pickings here. Again, getting that buttocks in there. Again, I'm not going to really pick too much. I mean, it's still kind of important to do something like this. So maybe it's not particularly picking. Here's a tip more on that. I think the tip will help on some of this. Oops. Okay, see how I rounded here. Do some rounding up here. It rounds this way. Some of this taken away. I'm going to look at that during the adjustment process. Now, even back in the 30s, like today, we got he's got to have a little zipper in front. Let me see, it is on, sorry, ladies, it's on the right side because I think it assumes that you're right-handed. That's the opening part, but then there's still a seam. And that's just a seam right there. Okay, I will get to the pickings later. I just want to kind of start moving on. Boots might need to be thinned a little bit, but again, it's caricature. You can thin it as much as you want. We can probably come back. I'll come back later for the tying of the. All right, we'll do the. Let's get the binoculars and hands going. That's the next thing. Now, I'm gonna have to kind of. I almost want to say feel my way in. In which, well, again, like I said, you guys got the pattern, so you know what to do. I think, okay, because there's going to be one more layer. There is this. It's V shape. I don't want to say it this way. V-ish shape, or it's an upside down V. There, the V is this way. But let's take this first. because while we're V'ing it down, as it were, we still have this, I want to call it the center. Let's bring it down first. And I don't want to pull any of this out. Maybe I should work on that first, or get that started first. Let's do that before I continue on. Now this is really let's do something like this. There, and I want to, I guess I'm okay to keep it, other than I'm going to come in here and cone it, as it were. Let's see if that'll, because that'll be, then this is the whitest part, thickest part of the binoculars. Therefore, it will be hitting his front. So with that, let's bring this in. Where's my, there he is. It's a smaller V. This is more of a detailing V. But first, it's more of a just taking wood away. So just to get the feel, well, get out of there, is I want to begin the rounding process here. Starting to look like one. Pair of binocs. Really seeing a lot of birds in that binoculars too. And like I said, it's going to come down a little bit. A conical shape. And that conical shape will meet the V. All right, like I said, this is going to be kind of upside down V. And I'm not going to make too much detailing of the binoculars. I mean, there's like the bridge between, I still want to put in the adjuster, as it were. You can see we got to bring the eyepiece down. Now I want to make some adjustments here before the center, before I adjust the eyepiece, because we might have to keep going deeper, and I certainly don't want to. All right, what I want to do is at least put the, I mean, it kind of goes, it's just, I don't want to make it too, I don't know if I screwed it up or something, but, and then here I just want this adjuster knob in. So I really don't, okay, we got this back, the center, I really don't want too much on detail here. You can detail as much as you like. I think this kind of came over too much. So we'll have that bridge there. And kind of gonna have that bridge there. There. Now, if we want to do a little bit of detailing, I definitely want to round this. The bridge is kind of at an angle too. And again, I just got to get in there and round. Now the eyepiece can come in a little more. Okay, we're getting there. Again, I do carve a little too quick. There's a thus far. There's, of course, the goings of this way. Goings of this way. Yeah, some of this cleanup is going to require the visor. See, I'm more interested in just getting rid of the wood so I can straighten this up later. These little extra flaps and cuts, and because we got quite a bit of, we got buttons that'll come down and all kinds of stuff going on. So this way, careful we don't go all the way through it. Oh, in fact, I got that backwards. Do I have that? I have that backwards here. Hope I didn't affect it too much. It's supposed to go that way. Yeah, I think I went backwards on that. But it's underneath and in the back it's hit. And then same with this way. The sound of breakage. Wanted to scoop that out of there. And again, all these little flips, and I'll get to them. It's just I want to keep shaping, and you see one is bigger than the other. So we need to shape this to fit this. And there's the center, so we still got to take from the center a bit, a piece. And this side a bit. There we go, getting there. And another scoop this way. There. A little better. Oh, there's still a lot of shaping to do, and I can do a little bit here and now, but I'd rather do that. That just comes to shaping and digging. See, I'm just digging, and when we want to keep on getting here. Let's see, where's another one of my chisels here? Oh, hope I didn't put a dent in it, hitting against the metal. See, I don't think I'm making it any better right now. But I hope it's enough to get the gist going, so then we could do the detailing and cleaning up later. Oops. So same here. Like I said, the distance between here and here, I could probably leave that till I do the eyes, or I'll just get it started. So same thing here, we're rounding. We're rounding. Oh, I got this here, I got this. That means I gotta take some more off here. And we're rounding. And we're rounding. And we're still rounding. We're losing it here. And we're rounding. The jacket is still good. At a good level. We may have, oof. Hope I didn't take more off than I could chew on that one. I think I may have. And we're rounding. Now we gotta get in there, which is going to be next to impossible. What do I have? A chisel that I can. What can I get in there with the little tiny number 9s there? Keep that handy for this one. Like I said, I hope I didn't take off more than I could chew. Okay, then we want some separation. Oops. Look at this, my little. No, I didn't. This is what I want. So what I'm trying to do is doing the rounding of the eyepieces plus getting this shirt ready, and it's hard to get in there without the visor and a nice visor tool, but we'll get there. Oops, don't be doing that. Moving right along, let's see where the hands and the, I think we can cut quite a bit of the hand off. But before I do, let's do a little bit of this one. Catching up. Let's gonna look at this guy here. Just out of now that we're interrupted, how much different or the same that they are. That'd be kind of interesting. Dad and Junior, Dad teaching Junior. What do you see over there, Junior? That would be kind of interesting. So it doesn't come, won't go away. Let me see how this takes. Okay. Now, pencil. I'm going to pencil in the same here to here. Where are you? Right here. Because now we're going to be getting into the arms. At least right here, let's take the fingers out of the way. Maybe I shouldn't adjust the jacket yet because I'll be getting rid of a lot of these cut marks here. Here's my number 5 again. Okay. So we're kind of starting to separate, clean. A little bit of shadowing in there. All right. Now the hand. The hand isn't. I mean, it's bigger than the wrists and all that, but I think we can, because the wrist is going to come in and it's going to be like this. Same with on this side. Let's get this cleaned a little bit. Make sure the wrist is good on both sides. Okay. Again, it's going to come down a bit, come up a lot. Now we want to try to get this so that the thumb is underneath, so we don't have to deal with the thumb. And you know, there's quite a bit to take off. I'm going to take off a lot first before I have to go against the grain there. So I shouldn't have penciled that in until I was pretty satisfied with this. That's a little better here. So I shoulda, woulda, coulda. Oops. That's a little better. There we go. Now this hand seems to be a little bigger. One against the eyepiece there. Okay. Let's start in on forearm a bit. I already got it started on this side. Do it started on this side. Do a little bit of cleaning. Because I want the binoculars to go in, because here's we're missing the thumb. I'm goofing up on the thumb here. Well, the thumb is about parallel. Let's keep working on the hand here. Oh, I forgot to cut this piece here. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Now it's starting to look good. Or look more correctly. I guess whether it's good is probably mine or your interpretation, but it's starting to get there. That's the first nickel there. It's starting to get there. Now my little Daz there says that I need my pencil and I guess about here-ish. Therefore, I'm going to try to, if I do that here, make sure we got a thumb back there. Something that says a thumb. So I want to, this one here, I think there's less hand. Here, I'm just going to go right about here. Here. Now the thing is, I like to take my tools and like I said, the wrist should be quite a bit smaller, and we might be out a thumb. Because what's going to happen is it's going to get narrower and narrower, this forearm. Yeah, as I mentioned before, I like to put this in so I can round the arms better, the arm pieces. Again, more on detailing than it is. I mean, I'm just showing that you get around on the inside here a bit. And I don't know, I think we may have lost the thumb. This side, same here. Put this in. Right. Come in, creating those dark shadows. Oops. All right, same with down here. I didn't do it on that side. I just gonna get in there, didn't I? Again, as time goes on, you can get your littler tools to get in there. I just want to make sure that you see and understand that there's got to be a part of the roundness of the arm. Okay, thus far. All right. Now again, let's get this going. Let's get the hand going. Let's see if we can get a thumb in there yet. Now I'm going to again separate. First of all, separate between the two. And it's going to come out. The hand is going to come out. From the sleeve. Therefore, the thumb, well, at least let me get the index finger portion coming out so you get an eye on what's happening. And I think, again, I got to go like this for the thumb. I think we can cheat with the thumb. Let's see that there is a thumb simply by putting a little dent. Like that. And work it with the binoculars a little bit. It's just a hint. I mean, we'll have to adjust more. I mean, that's way off. Way off. But just something to say that the thumb is in there. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean it's not there. That's what we're seeing. There. If he has his hand like this, all right. See, we're getting there. I think as much light as I can give you here. Let's do the same thing on this side here. Like I said, it's got to come out from the sleeve. And there is quite a bit of cleaning up to do. Oh, that's right, I gotta fix this. I forgot about that. There. That's a little better. Forgot about that. I screwed up back here and I guess that's the fix. But clean up later. This has got to come down a bit still. Oh, careful. I'm going to come out from the sleeve of the arm. And like I said, with the binoculars, I think we can hint with the thumb a little bit on this side. Let me clean this a little bit this side. And a little, like I said, there is quite a bit of cleaning and adjusting to do. And like I said, I'll be cleaning and adjusting, and then I'll come back to you with it with what I did and how I did it. But right now I just want to get things, keep things rolling. Because then all you need now, let's see if these two hands have got to begin to look the same. All right, how about that thus far? I can get my light to stay, and let's bring it. How far in can I bring it? And how far? There we go. With less shadow, there's still shadows. It's the best I can do. That's the best I can do. All right. Fingers. We're just here. More adjustments here. Don't lose that thumb, or put the thumb back in if I lose it. Okay, I did start with the planes of the hand. So in other words, we got this, this, and then we got this, and then here. Same here. We got this. And about 30 degrees this way, then this way, then this way. There. So it still feels a little bigger. There. Pencil, since there's 4 fingers left, therefore we got a middle line here. And this is what's sticking out here. Middle. Other 2 lines. All right, the middle, top one, oops, bottom one, do some adjusting, flip her over, middle one, next, next. Now we can do some separations right now, some fixings and separations right now. So it's like about 10, 20, I go about 20 degrees this way. I want a little bit of adjustment from, turn around, about 20 degrees this way. So you got some nice shadow separations. I think I may have broke the tip of his finger. I'm going to do one of these. That's about a 30. About a 30. 30. Oops, not too much. I think I went too far in that because I think I got not enough on the forefinger is what I'm afraid of, but what I'm going to do is if I were to separate this a little more. There, I think, yeah, there's still quite a bit of more adjustments to do. Same with this side, 20 degrees this way, this way, this way, flipper, 20 degrees this way, these away. And a little bit of that. That's a 30-30. Okay, not too shabby. Not too shabby, but I don't like that pinky. But I don't want to cut away from the, because what's going to happen now is with the pinky is going to come down a little more. And the index is going to come down a little more. See, this has shrunk the pinky a little bit. And it's got to come down a little bit more. Do a little more separation. Same with the index. It's got to come down a little more. There. Sehr gut so far. If I put a little more extra plain in this so it isn't pudgy. Take the pudginess out, a little bit of the pudginess. And again, more rounding and adjusting. Rounding and adjusting. Okay, moving right along, I want to get started on everything else. I'm just, like I said, I'm going to be picking at, where's my, well, I'm going to do a quick pick at something, but so much for kind of doing a quick, where's my number 5? Oh, there it is. Jesus, doing a quick pick here, but I suppose I better just stop and move on. Now, same with the arms. There'll be quite a bit of arm knife. Let's do about, first let's make sure this one is in. Let's do another one here. Lost the light here, lost the, oh, that's because I lost the camera here. There we go. Shouldn't that's out of the way. And I could put a little bit of this in. And then put another one of these in. Some dents in there. Let's see what we got for forearm dents. Kind of goes almost, well, we could have, I don't know, because I think he has a cuff. I'll come back to the cuff if he does have. I just want to get things rolling just to please put this in. some dents in it. Like he's used his shirt for quite a while, which I'm sure he has. Okay, let's put a bigger dent in here. Get out of there. This way. Same thing in reverse this way. I'm going to reverse in the back. That's what I meant. Heat all those extra little kind of flaps, these pieces of wood that are hanging that were cut and then they didn't fall off. We'll come back to them later also. And this thing was more of a vertical. Back on this side here. I want to bring it up, I want to say almost like a somewhat hourglass-ish. That's the best way to put it. Around the elbow. Arch of the back a little bit, and tin them up at the same time. Another one of these. All right, let's get going a little bit on the neck here. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna clean this up a little bit here. Now I still want to situate the neck a little bit. Again, let's bring this back. Now, I have more of a tough time. I think it's best if I did the head and then bring it down. I think that would be best. All right, I want to take much more of this off. Let's do the head first. I'm glad we left quite a bit for the brim, number one, and quite a bit for the ear, number two. I'm going to bring that up a little bit, using some of it. See what's on the back. Get a little bit of that in. Let's see what my number 5, little number 5 help a bit. Let me get it started. Oops. All right. All right. One of the things some carvers like to do is they call it carving from outside in, and we're going to do that. I'm going to try that or do that. When it comes to non-Santas, Santas I would carve inside out. So in other words, I'd get to try to figure out where the nose and eyes and all that is on the Santa, and then you get the beard. It's so imperfect you can shape it and do anything. But here we want to get the face right. And the best we want to do right now, what I want to do right now is I want to take my number 11, 5, and just clean this out a bit. See, as I mentioned, I think when I did this, when I did the triangle, see how easier it is to clean it out instead of start from scratch. And you can get to learn how to do that. Well, I'm going to do a little bit of this because we're going to put some sideburns on it. You know. See, now it's basically what I'm doing here. If you want to practice on a stick and start from scratch and doing actually kind of the same thing as you're kind of cleaning. It's just I like to teach starting with the, let's say, the jack-o'-lantern look. All right, now just for grins, like I said, I want to, oh, where's my number? Here it goes. Here's my number 9. I just want to kind of round that nostril a little bit there. He's not going to have a big honker. I didn't have too much left over for a big honker. And then upside down at about a 30-degree angle this way, 30-degree angle this way-ish, 30-ish. There, okay. Now it's just kind of getting that started. We're going to come back for more. Because what I want to do is, I want to just a little bit of cleaning here with the ear, and then what I want to do is I want to put sideburns in, and then I want to see how that looks. Once the sideburns in, then we really can do some better adjustments. Because his head's pretty wide, which would be semi-okay. Now the sideburns, I can't see here, but then the dad's, it does come down about halfway, but at least enough hair here. We can adjust. Yeah, this isn't the 70s. 70s it would all over, and then probably the 1800 we use those sideburns, sideburns. That's where we got that from. General Burnside. Here, I'm going to clean this a little bit here, so as to keep my bearings straight. Okay, where's my little V? My little V. I want to. The blade is up and across. Same thing, up and across. Now you loosen the blade, shape the head a little bit. Up and flat. Up and flat. Let's do that just for the sake of cleaning. Now I can see this sideburn is a little higher. Careful. Oh, jeez. I went off the track there. Use my free hand. Now, what I want to do is, from here, at least straight down. Let's go straight down at first. At first. Just to, so we can see what we're doing here. See what this. Okay. Straight down just to get our bearings. Bearings. So it's not particularly straight. It's going to go down a little more. So we're looking a little better. Now, yeah, what I wanted to do, what I was saying, I guess I wasn't doing. Here, trim this, and from there go straight down is what I meant to say. All right. These little flaps here, it's ruining my bearings here. All right, now, the next thing I want to do is, where is he? Is this right here? Just come down an angle like this. So it is only going to, so I'm going here, from yeah, about the ear, not straight down. This is going to be at an angle like this. So you still got this, don't take this part off. That's what we want. This goes up to about the eye. And it's starting to beginning the coning process of the mouth. All right. Now here's what's going to happen is I want to get this neckline in. Because from there, now I know we probably should do the ears. I'm I'm going to lay the foundations of the ears next, because the ear is going to be playing quite a bit of a thing on that. By the way, when I last turned this off, I turned the air on because it's getting kind of hot in here, so I hope it isn't too annoying. Yes, I'm annoying enough. So let's get started on the ears. The ear, we can trim quite a bit off here. See, that's why I always look at this one like earmuffs or something. When I start brand new, I put a big hunk, because now that the face is in, we can start in on the ears. Now the thing about the ear is, with the block, let's start this way, they come out. You can see now his ears pop way out at the top, but it does go down. So let's start with that. It does almost look like I took all of it off, but I didn't. The ear is about on the upper lip. Now his ear is kind of small. It's supposed to get above the eyebrow. And I think, well, because caricature is, he's got a bigger ear. But on the lip, so it's going to be like this. And even that is big. Even what I have there is huge. And so I'm going to take my knife, follow that. See, it's different with a man who's got no beard, or a woman, because you can start out like this, but with a Santa, you get all kinds of the hair is in the way. And to try to figure out where things are and how it'll sit and all that kind of stuff. Here, it's like putting an ear in a bowling ball, as it were. All right, I'll get this out of here, because the sideburns is still pretty thick. And of course we got a lot more, because his face could be shrunk a little bit, but all right, I want to come on the other side to keep up with it. Hopefully that's still the same. There is here. Yeah, I think it is, because this is here. And again, I want to get about by the lipish. It's the magic of having pencil, is always erase it. But I still want this one's going a little farther. This is going to go a little farther down. How does that look? Okay. Now one still seems to be a little bigger than the other, sticking out more than the other. Adjust, adjust, adjust. Now the next thing is it's going to come down. So from the back to the front it comes down. Oops. This way. So once you got the shape, you got the two directions. Then, oops, just a little bit here. Maybe I shouldn't adjust too much. And then what we do, let me see how it looks on this side. We go down this way. Now he seems to have thinner on this side than on this side. I think the ear might be a little farther back, but I don't know. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to do a little coning, making another turn and concaving a bit here. Get out of there. Just begin the concaving process, and we are going to leave it there, see if there's any adjustments we need, because we're going to get back to the head. Now, like I said, this seems to be, oh, that's because I got this here. I wonder if that's the problem. Run out of there. Yeah, I think, because I hate to turn the head, because take more off on this side, the head's going to turn back. I don't want to do that, but I think I might just kind of leave it as is, maybe adjust later. Okay, now here's the next thing that's going to happen, is this jawline. See how it comes right at the ear, and it does this. So it kind of starts at the ear, down a bit, this kind of an angle. I think it's not as sharp, but I want to leave it for any kind of detailing or adjusting. And the thing, okay, there's that. Now here is the hair. We're going to lift the hair up a little more and fix the hair, but right now I want the hair to be right here. Down, across. That's why he has nothing going on right here. And that jawline is going to be adjusted many times. Out of the way, I'm getting close to the edge. Let's make sure I don't, because that goes straight this way. A bit of dot there. Around here. Now we are beginning the first process of the neck. The first step of the neck, and now that we got that started, let's take our smaller round tool just to get this out of here, just to move wood. And it pops off nicely because we had that knife cut. You could have started out with the chisel, but you know, the knife guides. And here's our first. Again, more adjustments going to be made. And there's going to be a neck, and of course there's going to be the collar. And I just do not want to spend time. Whoops. I just got carried away getting digging. Stop right there. Other side. A bit here. Fingers out of the way. This is here, and now for sure here, this is straight down. Straight down. Again across, fingers. A little bit of dip there. Now we take our smaller round tool and just take the wood off. Don't pry. Just doing some cleaning up, just to clean up a little bit to get our bearings, and you can see we're beginning to get our first hint of a neck and a hint of the separation of the head. All right. Now the next thing here is I want to do one of these. Oops. One of these. And I get out of there because I want to get that cone in there. If I take a little bit off this way and goes this way, there we go. Now it's bringing the head back over the other direction is what I want. All right, now I want to do one of these. Oops, not too much. But remember, it's straight back, it's straight down. Adjusting. Adjusting. Still want that back. Want this back. And you gotta keep moving around to make sure everything is semi-symmetrical. It's still a little higher on this end here. But we keep working. Now, like I said, I want to put the collar in first. Actually, before the collar, I want to put the hair in. It's not that furry. Then we're going to see more of the neck because the hair is going to come down about here. And it's going to go in more. Let's get our, well, this is a larger number 11, just for the sake of moving a lot of lumber. That's all we're doing here, just moving quite a bit of it. A smaller number 11, get in there. You know, I was just thinking another thing that he could be looking at. I didn't even think about it in our generation. He's probably looking for Yogi Bear. Smarter than the average bear, and he's going to try to take some of them by picnic baskets. I still want to take some of that hair out there. off there. As I want to round the skull a little bit. Quite a bit of adjustment to do. Now, is it clean enough? I want to clean up everything here because I want to start in on the collar. Is what I want to do. There's quite a bit of adjustment on that. Quite a bit of adjustment on the head, but I want to get. And we'll put the mouth and the eyes in. But, alright, here, let's get a thus far. I mean, it still might be a little too much, I think. But you gotta remember he's got the back of that skull, so don't make it too thin. Because I think it should be a little higher and a little thinner. Maybe at least one more swipe. Thinner. And a little bit more of this off here. Oh, there's my big. There we go. That's getting her. That's getting her. Big 11, littler 11. Littler 11. Be careful how to twist that. Now I want either. Maybe if I start with this one, I was looking for my V, but maybe we should use this guy here. My tiny number 9, and it does go up. You're starting to see the first neck when we did the ear. Now it does go up. I still see another swipe. This side, I still see another swipe. And it goes up at an angle like this. And let us clean it up a little bit. We'll have to come in with a chisel probably later. There's the neck. And since we've got located the neck, where we can get in on the collar. Okay, let's straighten this stuff up here. Because what's going to happen is when we do the collar, we'll be thinning the body out a little bit. But here, okay, let's show you the back of the head, what I did. So we're quite a bit on the, like I said, there is pickings galore here. And I'd like to do it for the sake of it, you know, I don't want to show you a crappy carving. But you know, when I'm carving on my own, I mean, I don't care about it at this stage. As long as we can get, that pencil keeps going on that pencil. Sounds like metal, but it lands on plastic. But anyways, I mean, I don't mind about these little pickings here right now, because I want to shape it, get it going here. Okay, the collar. That was on metal, so careful. Now how I do a simple collar pencil. Now he's turning his head, so this is going to be straight. We might have turned a little bit with the head. But of course we want this to start with the V here. With the V. Then, with this all cleaned up, and where is my small v, small v, small v, a smaller v. Let me put this in here. I want this sharp. Sharp and clean. Sharp and clean. Because then